Greetings, YouTube. Happy Saturday night or Sunday morning if you're across the pond. I did a video last night where I was quite critical over the notion that you had to complete all of Act 6, Chapter 2 to receive any form of compensation, because one of the major bugs is having the champion, despite having all of the indestructible charges removed, still not suffer any damage. And I have seen people extremely skeptical that that bug actually exists. In fact, I've seen some people who said, I don't think it really exists. I just think the people who are submitting help tickets aren't as good at the game as me. And if you want to sound like an elitist douchebag, just copy and paste that into a YouTube video comment section. So, some of you saw those comments. And some of you suffered from this very issue. And so, on the notion that this problem actually is made up and doesn't exist, there is a user by the name of Mr. Ridiculous who said, hold my beer, because this man attempted this fight not once, not twice, but 30 times with his Captain America Infinity War, and he used the same strategy every time, and he said that somehow, and he cannot explain how, but on the 30th attempt, he got the champion down, even though he swears he did not try anything different on attempt 30 than he did attempt 1. He said that he got the champion down to that 10% threshold of health very easily, but from there it was anything but easy. And to show what he saw, and you can judge for yourself whether or not his fighting skills were the reason why he wasn't getting this guy down, or if it really is a bug. In fact, he invited me to post this with the commentary, but also the feedback from you all on YouTube. So feel free to comment below what you think of his fighting style. But we're going to play this video now and kind of show you what it is that he was seeing when he did this fight. And I realize this was sent to me via the Line app, so it is going to be a little pixelated, but it actually, at least on my screen, looks to be fairly good. So you can see the indestructible charges in the top right. He's starting with 5, okay? He should be taking 0 damage. Still at 5. And now he's just going to take some block damage, but try to remove those slowly but surely. All right, 1 is removed. He is at 4. Only 4 more to go. Too bad he's taken block damage quite a bit. Still got 4. No worries. He should not be causing any damage at this point. He is still simply trying to survive in the fight. Now he is down to 3. All right. Sort of can smell what he thinks will be the finish line at this point. Still at 3. Still at 3. Just doing his best to evade the specials. Now he's at 2. He can only do this 2 more times, and in theory, he's going to win the fight. And notice that his health is already down as well, and he's down to 1 indestructible charge left. This is what we would like to call the end game in Marvel Contest of Champions. Now, the bad news is he's down to 1% damage. But the good news is the indestructible charges are gone. So in theory, if he's not going to KO the champion on this, he should at least cause a decent amount of damage. But you can see 0% damage is done, even though there are no indestructible charges left. And unfortunately, with that 1%, he has, I believe, the Heimdall synergy, which gets him alive a little bit longer, but then he dies. That is attempt 1 of 29. And you can just imagine that happening 29 more times. And then somehow he said, with the exact same strategy you just watched, attempt number 30 was a success. That's still a crazy amount of revives to use for a bug that is 100% on Kabam, not on the player. So did he do something wrong, or do you think this is a good example of the bug actually existing? And does that mean that you think also that those who got to the champion chapter of this content, or the last chapter of this content, should be compensated? I've seen some people who have gone as far as to say that anyone who completed any chapter should get compensation. Maybe you think that's being too generous. Maybe there's a different threshold. But either way, compensation is an important discussion, because if the game is bugged and it is not your fault, then unfortunately you are held to impossible standards of completion. I also have to say, this is just a friendly reminder, the best takeaway from these kind of situations has has and will continue to be to not do any content the first week that it gets released, even if it's the epic monthly or uncollected monthly event quest final bosses, until those bugs are fixed. We have seen time and time again, I want to say maybe 60, 70% of the time at least, these bugs are present and Kabam does not know about them or does not care about them until it's too late for the player. And often, even if compensation, which is rarely given, is given, the compensation is pennies on the dollar compared to what was spent to defeat the bugged content. So just friendly advice on this Saturday night/Sunday morning. Thanks for watching, and as always, thank you for supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel.